Hi Gordon, welcome.
Thank you indeed, Michelle.
It's really great to chat to you as we're in the month of the youth, celebrating the youth. And I know you have spent a lot of years nurturing, mentoring, and looking after the youth, giving them opportunities in the workplace, guiding them, and also researching them. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
So, as a market research company, explain what Youth Day means to you.
Gosh, Michelle, that's a huge question. Obviously, Youth Day has its roots in the 1970s, and I was there in first year university, and I remember the terrible day, and I remember the water cannons on campus, and the protests, and the, let me be blunt, brutality, and a lot of that was swept under the carpets in the old South Africa. So I think that the word celebrate and Youth Day is kind of an oxymoron. It's something that we remember as a tragedy, and also I think learn from as a lesson in that everything has its roots in youth. And if we don't nurture a young plant, we never have a beautiful, mature one.
Right. So Gordon, through your encounters with the youth, do you believe that they have a reason to celebrate given the state of our economy and our nation?
Gosh, that's also an interesting question. The state of our economy, the state of the nation, the state of the world, the state of unemployment, the fact that so many young people are battling to find jobs and looking for career focus. I don't think it's celebrate is again, I don't think that that's a word you can use. I think that hope would be a good word. I think that I personally feel there's a lot to hope for in our country. Why? Because we have such a melting pot with such a history behind it. We cannot claim that we don't have diversity on our side and we don't have opportunity through that color. And essentially, there are so many ingredients with which to work. We must be able to make a good future, and it is the youth who are going to make that future, not us.
So how can brands and businesses address the challenges to better support the youth?
It seems to me that brands and businesses follow the youth, not the other way around. You know, to try and conceive something that is going to satisfy the needs of the youth is asking for failure. Have you noticed that if you try to copy your young children, they do exactly the opposite? So I think that our role as researchers and marketers and brand builders and businesses is to be very, very keenly attuned, Michelle, to what the youth are doing and thinking and feeling, and adjust ourselves to dovetail with the futures that they are creating, not the other way around.
So what makes for a great or successful mentorship internship program?
Mentorship, internship program. I don't really understand the word internship. I know it's used a lot, to be honest. Mentorship, I think I understand. I've made lots of mistakes myself in respect of mentorship, mainly trying to help people to be what I think they should be. But that's not what it's about. It's the other way around. I believe mentorship is there to provide people, and young people especially, Michelle, with the confidence to be what they want to be.
So Gordon, what advice can you offer to those looking for employment?
I love Daily Maverick. I read it every morning. It's probably the first thing I do when I wake up. And I always love a little quote that they have.
Yes.
And yesterday there was a quote, and I remember the quote. I can't remember who it's attributed to, an author, but it went like this: try to learn a little bit about everything and everything about one thing. And that's my advice. We need to be generalists today. At the same time, we must be a specialist in something. If you want to be employed, my advice is don't be shy to have many things on your CV. A course in first aid, a course in life-saving, a course in calligraphy. It doesn't matter. But then, in addition to having this multitude of things that you are passionate about and have dabbled in, have one thing that you're expert at.
So in closing, are there any other comments you would like to add to the conversation?
Youth. It's all about youth. Somebody said to me one day, a long time ago, the problem with youth, Michelle, is that the youth refuse to spend time with the future. And of course, when you're old, or at least mature like me, and you can look back, you have a lot of wisdom to draw on. But you know what? And so what? Why should the youth spend time with the future? They are, after all, creating the future. They're very busy creating the future. Let's leave them be, to be who they want to be.
You really think it's safe to let the youth be who they want to be?
Gosh, Michelle, look around, look back in the past. We can't do anything about it, can we?